At the beginning, I want to thank very cordially Mrs. Hak Jahan Moon for this great initiative to discuss the reunification of Korea. First of all, I want to thank UPF for this initiative, an initiative that goes far beyond any political discussions, especially political discussions in front of national elections. A discussion also on nationhood. And I think that nationhood probably is one of the most precious common goods and values that exist. Why? People all over the world are looking for freedom. They're looking for economic welfare and for security. But they are also looking for identity, because identity is the basis for common solidarity. And not only for solidarity, but also, if you look to the situation between different nations, also for the independence of nations. And insofar, this discussion certainly will have quite some importance for Korea, because the Koreans are one of the greatest people of the world. Almost 80 million people, almost the same population as Germany in Europe, more than Great Britain or France, but divided. And on the other hand, a nation that managed, although there is the division within the country, to become one of the leading technological, economic, and civilizational nations of the world. Of course, it will not be easy in this situation to talk about reunification. Why? Not only because there are different systems in North and in South, but also due to the fact that Korea is situated in between China and Russia and Japan, and there are also American interests due to the security belt in the Western Pacific. And insofar, this has become one of the biggest challenges for world politics. Of course, nobody could imagine when the war broke out in 1950 that this nation could become one of the leading nations in the world. So far, this is a good example that you must not think just for the moment, but in a longer term. And if I may add a little experience from my own personal experience in my lifetime, maybe this also can contribute a little bit. I was born and brought up right at the Austro-Czechoslovak border. And when I was a child, there was the Iron Curtain dividing Czechoslovakia and Austria. There was no possibility to cross the border, to enter the other country. And this Iron Curtain divided not only Austria and Czechoslovakia, but the whole of Europe. I had the opportunity, to watch people at the other side of the border when they were mowing the grass or just walking around or whatever. I knew the names of all the villages and towns around it, but I never had the opportunity to cross the border. I had already spent a whole year in the United States as a student before I could enter a neighboring village at the other side of the border. And this also brought a big change, because in 1989, suddenly, almost surprisingly, something happened that nobody had expected before. We thought that it would last maybe years, decades, until the Iron Curtain could fall. But then it came almost surprisingly and very quickly. And now we are living in a situation that is not only a neighboring country, but it is a member of European Union, and it is easy to go there just without a passport, not even needing exchange money if you want to buy something. And this is a personal lesson for me, because as kids and as young people, we tried not to give up, to stick in our occupation with the neighborhood, with those other countries. We try to shape awareness. And I think this is also the challenge for Korea. If experts would mean that there's hardly a chance in the coming years, nobody really knows. And it can go very quickly until things will change fundamentally. And for this moment, you have to be prepared. And insofar, I'm sure the European lesson that a divided Berlin, a divided Germany, a divided Central Europe could be reunified will be the best lesson also for Korea. And insofar, I'm convinced that this great Korean nation will have a great future, a great common future. Let's work on it.